Welcome back. So Telkom is still under pressure, but some news from its interim results is being welcomed today. The company posted a drop of 67% in profit after tax for the 6 months that ended in September. But that's a comparison, and last year's figure was inflated by once-off gains. Earnings before interest, tax and depreciation, which is seen as a better reflection of operating efficiency, rose to 4.4 billion rand. Well, Telkom has been hit by restructuring costs, and it's been retrenching and offering early retirement packages. Its revenue from fixed line calls continues to decline as South Africans opt for mobile phones. Telkom has traditionally controlled much of the fixed back-end structure that cell phone companies hook into, but it's losing its dominance as MTN and Vodacom enter the physical race, including to provide broadband in the so-called last mile to our homes. Well, Telkom's own mobile business is looking up, though, and active subscribers rose by nearly 27% to reach 2 million in September. Telkom shares have climbed substantially this year as investors are looking and hoping for a real turnaround. Our reporter Lueta Motlogelwa spoke to Telkom CEO Sipho Maseko earlier.
As you know, the economy is not doing well. The competitive pressure is pretty intense. You would have seen some of our competitors announcing their results in the last few weeks. And I think that under the circumstances, actually, the performance of Telkom has been pretty solid. On top of that, our free cash flow is very, very strong. We've released about 1.7 billion rands worth of free cash flow. So on a like-for-like basis, if you compare the same 6 months last year and the 6 months this year, it's been an exceptional performance, and from which we really are humbled by it.
A lot of that good performance you're talking about came through the mobile business, but the fixed line revenue still not doing well.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, and it's the existential issue that we find in this business. So fixed voice is a legacy business. It's really under pressure. So we see that, we recognize that, and we're doing the best we can to mitigate that. Mobile has had an exceptional performance. Their EBITDA improved by more than 50% over the same period last year. And the issue for us going forward is how do we get some of the growth nodes in Telkom coming up fast enough in order for them to substitute the decline that you see in fixed voice. And it's always about how do you manage that tension between a legacy business that is in decline relative to new growth businesses that need to be fueled much faster so that they can replace that revenue decline on the other side.
Let's talk about your restructuring plans. I know you faced a little bit of resistance from labor unions. Where are we, and what are some of the costs that were involved there?
So the first phase of the restructuring process with regards to staff ended in October. Not every element of it has been taken into account in this set of financial results, because remember that we are reporting only up until the end of September. We have seen a total of about 406 or so people and managers leave the company. It's one of the most difficult things that we've had to do. However, the company is confronted with quite a huge crisis in terms of survival, and we've had to do that. And it's not something that we are proud of. However, it's a tough decision that we had to take. So that phase is effectively done. We completed the process at the end of October, and now we're moving towards making sure that we start to lift the morale within the company, simplify the organization, be very clear on accountabilities, be very clear on performance contracts and priorities. And we have a much smaller management team that I'm pretty convinced is a lot more focused on where it is that we need to take the company.
Let's talk about prospects for the year. I see you are planning to reintroduce your dividend policy. Does this demonstrate your happiness in terms of where the company is and where the company is going?
Well, we're cautiously optimistic. The issue about the next 6 months of the year is that it will be tough. The economic environment hasn't changed. You would have seen the Minister of Finance medium-term budget outlook, which says that the economy will still be under pressure. So for us as Telkom, that is not lost as well. We need to understand that it's a tough trading environment, so therefore we need to be efficient. Our service needs to be very, very solid. We need to make sure that the battle in the premises of our customers, we are able to win it. How do you win that? You win that with the right solutions and the right levels of service. With regards to the dividend policy, indeed, we've stated an intention to reinstate the dividend, but all of these things are dependent on performance. So if we are able to repeat the sort of performance that we've delivered in the first 6 months, I think that it really then makes sure that the chances of the reinstatement of the dividend are a lot more higher than where we might have thought would be a little while ago.
Plans going forward. I know previously one of your focus area was rolling out fiber to several metropolitan areas. Is this still the focus area?
But that remains one of the focus areas. The fiber rollout to the top 23 suburbs, that's going on as planned. In fact, last week we lit the first fiber, so we are on course 1st of December to start bringing that service into people's homes. And the experience will be phenomenal, actually. People will be moving from probably 5 megabits per second to about 100 megabits per second. That will enable things like streaming. People will be able to do quite a lot of stuff with that amount of bandwidth that would have rolled out. So that's on the one hand with regards to fiber. But in those areas where it will take us a bit of time to get in there with fiber, we've rolled out what we call LTE Advanced, which also gives you almost similar speeds, download and upload speeds that you currently get with fiber. So that is our network focus areas, but it's not the only area. The second area, and South Africa is notorious of that, and even Telkom, how do we improve our customer service level? How do we begin to listen more to the customer, respond more to their needs? Because customers don't have to spend money with us. The more we don't listen to them, they have choices. They can exercise those choices anywhere else. And for us, we're trying to shift that culture within Telkom, whether it's in the call center, whether it's in our stores, whether it's in our field force, that the customer really must be at the heart of everything that we do. That's one of the focus areas. And last but not least is how do we allocate resources? Being a lot more disciplined with how we allocate CapEx and OpEx. Be willing and able to make the right choices and trade-offs. We will not invest in everything, but we just need to be able to invest in those things that will secure the future of the company and enable us to have a sustainable financial framework going forward.